first met Lonny Kaneko in September of 1992 when I traveled to Seattle to do research on my book. And after I'd been in Seattle for a number of days, I traveled across the Sound on the ferry where I then interviewed Amy Sando for several days at Lonny's house. Lonny and Amy had been good friends at the University of Washington, and because of that, Lonny knew an awful lot about Bruce. And over the 3 days that I interviewed Amy, he added a great deal that I thought was certainly worthwhile and very informative. After I had finished my rough draft of Amy's chapter in the book, which is called The Seattle Years, I sent it to Amy, and then she sent it on to Lonny. I had come to realize that Lonny, at that time, was an English professor at the college in Vashon. And so Lonny read over my draft, and he made a lot of suggestions and did some really good edits. They were so good that I asked him whether he would be willing to edit the whole book, which he agreed to do. In the subsequent years that people have said to me, boy, that book is a real page turner. It's a great read. I owe a lot of that to Lonny, because prior to that I've been a writer for screen and television, and those two writing formats are entirely different. So Lonny taught me a great deal about writing books. And Lonny worked with me after that for several years. He edited other books. I think he worked on a screenplay with me at one point. I forget which one, maybe more than one, but he was invaluable. And we were good friends over the years. We had a really good friendship. The other night when I was looking through all of my letters and notes and everything that I've had from Amy and Lonny over the years, I came across a poem that Lonny had written and had included it in a letter that he had sent to me. I don't recall reading that poem. Vaguely recall reading it. And I read it the other night. Actually, I read it several times. And he's quite a poet. He's written books as a poet, and he was a student of Theodore Roethke. And so I read the poem several times. It's all about Bruce. And I thought, gee, this is really, I mean, I had to read it to get the sense of everything he was doing, because I'm not a poet. But it's a lovely piece of writing, and I thought I would include it in a separate video for those who love poetry and those who would just like to read something written by one of Bruce's close friends.